let's talk about one of the toughest things in trading: how to make those split-second decisions without letting fear or panic completely take over. We're going to break down how you can go from being frozen in your tracks to acting with total precision. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The market's moving, that A-plus setup you've been waiting for all day finally appears, and you just freeze. Your hand hovers over the mouse, but you can't click. That moment, that little bit of paralysis, is literally the only thing separating the pros from everyone else. So getting past that freeze starts with a huge mindset shift. You have to ask yourself, am I a gambler, just reacting to the market, chasing my losses, and hoping for the best? Or am I a trader, someone who prepares, executes a plan, and manages the outcome? The whole goal here is to get you out of that first column and firmly into the second one. Now, before we even touch on the rules, we have to get this one thing straight. Trading is not a 9-to-5 job. It's not going to pay you a steady salary every single day. The reality is, you might have a week of small losses or just breaking even, and then in 1 or 2 really good days, you make it all back and then some. Once you truly accept that, the pressure to win today just vanishes. Okay, let's dive into rule number 1. And listen, this one is absolutely non-negotiable. If you want to make quick, clear-headed decisions, you have got to kill the single most destructive habit in all of trading. And that habit is revenge trading. You know what it is. It's that gut punch feeling after a loss where your brain screams, I gotta make that money back right now. It's 100% emotional, and it causes you to throw your entire strategy right out the window. The message here couldn't be simpler. You have to let the loss go. A quick decision that comes from a place of anger isn't a trade, it's a bet. A professional trader accepts the loss. They'll literally close the laptop and walk away if they have to, and then they wait for the next valid opportunity, not just any old chance to get even. All right, moving on to rule number 2, which is really the foundation for everything else. Acting fast without a plan isn't a skill, it's just chaos. You need a simple framework to guide you. And here it is, a dead simple 4-step plan. Number 1, you see the exact setup you planned for. No making things up on the fly. 2, you confirm it matches your strategy. This is what keeps you consistent. 3, you execute. No hesitation, because the real decision was already made when you created the plan. And 4, maybe the most important step of all, you accept the outcome, win or lose, because you followed your process perfectly. And here's why that's so important. A plan is the only way you can actually get better. If you win, you know what worked. If you lose, you can go back, look at the plan, and figure out what to adjust. But if you're just trading randomly, you learn absolutely nothing. It's all just noise. Okay, on to rule number 3. This one is all about tackling that huge obstacle we talked about earlier, psychological pressure. See, the best way to manage your mind is to first manage your money, the right way. Just look at the difference here. When you're trading with your full capital, the psychological pressure is through the roof. Every little tick against you feels like a personal attack. But when you only allocate a small piece of your capital to a trade, that pressure just plummets. It gives you room to breathe and actually think clearly. At the end of the day, executing fearlessly isn't about being some kind of cowboy. It's about creating an environment where you feel safe to act. A trader who's only risking a small fraction of their account can pull the trigger on a perfect setup without a second thought. But the person risking it all? They're the one who's going to freeze up every time. Let's get into a bit of a more advanced idea now. But trust me, this one is a game changer. It's not enough to just know if you think the market will move. The real pros anticipate how it's going to get there. So ask yourself this next time. You've done your analysis, you're bullish on a stock, great. But have you thought about the path it's likely to take? Is it going to go straight up? Or is there another possibility? This is the difference between having a fuzzy idea and having a high-definition mental map of the market. So what are the options? Will it be a clean, impulsive run higher? Or will it maybe dip first to shake everybody out before it rips? Or is it going to go sideways for a while to build up some energy? When you have these scenarios already mapped out in your head, you can recognize them the second they start to happen, and you can act instantly. And now for our final rule. And this one might sound a little weird at first. To get better and faster at making trading decisions, you actually need to trade less. It all comes down to the psychology of scarcity. If you tell yourself you can take unlimited trades all day, you're going to end up taking a bunch of low-quality setups just because you're bored or have FOMO. But when your brain knows it only gets a few shots, it becomes laser-focused on finding only the absolute best opportunities. So try this little mental trick. Tell yourself you can only take, say, 3 trades today. That's it. This forces you to be way more patient, way more selective. And when that A-plus setup finally appears, you'll hit it without hesitation because you know it's one of your only chances. It instantly sharpens your focus. So let's be crystal clear about what we're aiming for here. This is not about being a gambler just impulsively clicking buttons. This is about being a quick trader, which is disciplined, it's prepared, and it's strategic. We're talking about speed that is born from preparation, not from panic. And all of this leads to one last really important question that I want you to think about. Looking back at these 5 rules, killing revenge trading, having a plan, protecting your capital, knowing the markets how, and limiting your trades, which one of those is your biggest roadblock right now? Be honest with yourself, because once you identify it, you'll know exactly where you need to start.